Hey, what's up guys? It's Tyler here, and today I'm going to be talking about the same exact financial trading platform that Bobby Axelrod used in Billions. We've also seen it in other famous financial TV shows like Succession and other financial movies, and that is the Bloomberg terminal. But before I do that, I want to tell you guys about my partner Chris over at MacroOps. He has a free systems trading checklist that's really awesome. You can get that for free by going to the description, hitting the link. You're going to land on a page like this, and it's going to have all sorts of cool stuff to help you get started with systems trading. He also has a free video training session there, completely free. So if you're interested in that, go to the description, hit the link. And now let's get into the Bloomberg terminal. So Bloomberg was something that actually got started back in the 80s, before we had the proper internet and before we had Google, where you could just quickly look up any financial data. And it was a huge thing for the industry because it was a platform that aggregated all of this financial data from around the world, whether it be from equities or bonds or money markets, repo rates, all sorts of stuff. It aggregated in one spot so traders and bankers could look all the data up and make the best decisions possible. And I'm going to go to a Fast Company article real quick, and you can kind of see what it looked like in the past. Let me click on play here. You can see this little video going through the different prices and these old dudes in their 1980s garb. And this is what the thing used to look like, and it has survived the test of time, and it's still being used by many financial professionals today. And now it kind of looks like something like this with a very nice keyboard, an interesting login device I'm going to show you guys in a bit, and then I'm going to get into the platform and actually show you what the UI looks like these days. So anyway, Bloomberg, it's something that's been around forever. It was started by Michael Bloomberg, who is now a billionaire and previous mayor of New York. And enough of me blabbing about this stuff. Let's actually get into the platform and show you guys what's inside. All right, now I really want to show you guys this login process. I think it's one of the most coolest things I've ever seen on any piece of software. And to basically get in, you need something called a B-unit, which is this thing right here. And what you do is you swipe your finger on it, and then it unlocks this unit, and then the screen flashes into one of these sensors right here, and that communicates with Bloomberg and then allows you to get in. So what this does is you can't just buy a subscription and give your login information to your cousin or your friend to use while you're not using it. This actually means you have to be physically present with this device again, which I think is really interesting. I haven't seen it in any other type of financial software out there. So let me log in real quick. I'm going to show you guys how this works. All right, so now I'm syncing it up to the computer, holding it in front of that flashing light, and now it gives me a code. I type in the code, boom, I'm into the Bloomberg. All right, so once you're inside, this is what it looks like, and what you do from there is you type in these different functions, and these functions bring you to the analysis pages, and there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of these. It's really hard for a single user to know about everything inside the terminal. It's that big. It's like basically trying to memorize a mini internet, but I'm going to show you a couple of the functions that I think that are interesting, and we can look at some type of data that we really can't get anywhere else online. So the first one I wanted to show you guys is USSW, which is the swap market, and you can see here it's going to pull up all of the different data on swaps. And so here we have different prices, and we have even swaptions. And what swaps are they're basically an interest rate derivative that banks use to transact and to take certain stances on interest rates, whether they're going to move up or down. Not really something that I've ever traded in my career, and really individual traders don't trade them at all either. But professional traders, they're going to be using this kind of stuff, and so this is an example of the types of things you can find on Bloomberg. The next thing I want to show you guys is BTMM, which is the Treasury and Money Market function. And so this, you can see very short-term paper and short-term interest rates. So you can see we have the US T-bills, 4-week, 2-month, 3-month, and we can also look at other countries like, say, China, and we can look at what their very short-term interest rate markets are doing. And this is data that's, once again, hard to get on the internet, and this is all laid out nicely for everyone right here. We can look at the 1-day and 7-day SHIBOR. We can look at their repo rates, the 1-week CNY forwards. So this stuff's very prevalent to people that are transacting in the money markets around the world. I think that's a pretty cool thing about Bloomberg. The next one is one of my favorites, and that's WEI, stands for World Equity Index. And once it pulls up here, you guys can see that it has all of the stats for equity indices around the world. And so we get this, Americas, Europe, and Asia, and you don't just get US. So a lot of platforms out there are US focused. This thing has everything: Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, Canada, we have Mexico, and we have Brazil. And then we go through all of the different European indices and the Asian indices. We can see the net change in the day. intraday. We can see their volatilities. I have volatility checked up here because I'm into that kind of stuff. We can look at the 10-day vol, 30-day vol, and then the percent year-to-date changes. So I think that's pretty cool. The next one I want to show you guys is called ECO. And ECO is economic data, and we can get some of this data other places like Forex Factory, but Bloomberg has some cool things to where you click on it, then it brings you to this next page where you can see the latest in the surveys, the survey highs, the survey lows, and a nice easy historical graph to see how housing starts have been moving over time. I think that's kind of interesting. The next one that I want to show you guys up here is the GP, which is probably the most famous Bloomberg screen. It's the thing that we see on the Bobby Axelrod screen in Billions, or we see in Succession, and this is their charting. So let me get an equity up here so it's a little bit easier to see. And this is the classic Bloomberg chart that many of us have seen before, and it kind of has that iconic look to it. This is, when I think of a Bloomberg terminal, I think of this, the iconic Bloomberg charting. And of course you can graph anything else on here besides an equity, but I just wanted to show you something simple like Apple. It's pretty cool. The other thing I like on here is called function HSN, which is a spreads function. And so what this really is, you can take anything. You can take, for example, the SPY and against Apple, and you can look at the summary statistics about that. And like, let me type in something like WTI crude oil. So here's crude oil price, and then let's look at Brent, and let's click enter. And now we can see the spread between Texas oil, WTI, and Brent. And you guys can see here that the CL commodity, which is WTI, was trading at 78. The Brent was trading at 75.5. And let's go out to a 5-year. We could see how this spread moves around. So if you want to trade, U.S. oil against European oil, which a lot of professional commodity funds are going to be doing, you can look at something like this, and it has all of the interesting spread summary statistics, histograms, etc. So I think that's a pretty interesting feature of the Bloomberg. And next thing is BMAP. Now BMAP is something that I find pretty crazy, and you'll see for why in a second. It's basically a map of the entire world, and you can look at commodities moving around the world in somewhat real time. So I'm going to open one of these sample maps here for you guys, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And let's look at the LNG routing, which stands for liquid natural gas. And once it loads here, it should show me liquid natural gas moving around the world. Now it's taking a little bit of time to load. All right, that one didn't work. Let's get crude going. All right, so the crude one worked. And if we zoom in here, you guys can see these little triangles. These are actually oil tankers. So you can look up and see where oil tankers are moving in real time around the world. So this one's sailing right out of Texas. Then we got these out here in the Gulf, kind of sailing over here. And I think that's a really interesting thing to look at. I mean, I've never really seen this data before. The only place I know of that exists is on the Bloomberg terminal. So super useful for commodity dudes. It's not really my cup of tea, so I'm not looking at this stuff every day, but if you're into that, it's there in the Bloomberg. Other data, we can look at natural disasters. If you're, say, a commodities trader, you might be interested in where are the wildfires at around the world. If there's wildfires and crops are burning down, then that could affect the prices of, say, cocoa or wheat or whatever. And you can see up here they have a heat map of kind of where wildfires have been reported, which I find super interesting as well. So anyway, that's BMAP. Now the other thing I want to show you guys is SPLC, which is the supply chain. And supply chain analysis you can do for, say, let's try it on Apple. And if you want to really dive deep into a business, you can click on this function, and once it pops up, you'll see in a second here what's going on. You'll see that, boom, we have the suppliers and the customers of Apple all listed here. We can easily go in and look at their financials, and we can click on one of them and see what they're up to. So you really get to understand a business because you get to see all the top suppliers and customers. So that's a really cool function. Now I want to get into some of the interesting sort of non-markets related functions that exist in Bloomberg, and that's kind of quirky and weird. But the first one is MVP. And so MVP is a place you can see who's getting hits within the Bloomberg terminal. And these are guys that are usually big in the news, like Adam Newman is the former chairman, CEO, co-founder of WeWork. And then you got Ken Fisher, Trump. And when you click on these guys, it goes to their profile. It tells you who they are, why are other traders and investors looking at these guys, even how to contact them, their career, all sorts of stuff, news related to them. That's sort of an interesting little thing. The next one is DINE, and DINE actually stands for dining out. And it actually has like a mini Yelp within the Bloomberg terminal, which I found kind of funny. You could see it in Austin where I'm at right now. They have a bunch of different reviews, and people are saying, hey, I went to this restaurant, that restaurant, and they have a whole map of where to kind of go in the city, which I thought was really interesting. And then the last one I want to show you guys is something called POSH, which stands for Posh. And Posh is basically a rich man's Craigslist. So if you go on here, you're going to see all these rich finance dudes putting up their Porsches for sale, putting up, their freaking Patek Philippe watches. Here's a dude trying to sell his Patek Philippe for 70 grand. And it's sort of funny to kind of look at those listings, because you see all these high finance dudes selling these Porsches and Beamers and Lambos and whatever, Rolexes. So whenever you get into finance and you get to ride with the big boys here, I guess you use this instead of Craigslist. So anyway, like, that's the coolest things I've found in Bloomberg after doing a lot of exploration within it. And it's, there's a lot more you can do with the platform. I'm just scratching the surface, but it's really hard for one guy to know everything about it. You pretty much have to specialize in what you want to do and then dive in. But what I want to talk about now is if it's actually worth it for an individual trader to ever get one of these. And I think the answer is pretty clearly no, because you can be very successful without all this crazy data. So if you work at a massive, say, commodity hedge fund, you might need to know exactly where the tankers are. But if you're just a guy, you're trading for yourself, and you're trying to make that work, I mean, you could just do what Chris D does, and you can just use widely available data or almost free data and create something that works very, very well for you. It doesn't really make sense for you to have all this data if you don't have the capital to really support it, and you're not operating in those markets. So I think Bloomberg, it's very cool, and I'm glad to be able to go in it and explore it, but it's really not necessary for an individual trader. So that's really all I had planned for this video, guys. I hope you got a little taste of what Bloomberg's like and kind of some of the interesting quirks and features of the platform. And if you guys are really interested in trading like Chris does, and I know he's been coming out with some interesting videos lately, then hit that link in the description. It's going to bring you out to this page where you get a free systems trading checklist, and you also get a free video about how he trades. And I think for an independent trader, that makes way more sense than getting caught up in something like Bloomberg. Bloomberg's cool for the guys that are backed with big banks, but for guys like me and you who are individual traders, I think stuff like Chris D does is way more relevant. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe and leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.